All right, so I might as well go ahead and get started since we do have a lot of participants. If you have questions at any time during the presentation, feel free to just write in the chat, and my coworker will be in there answering all questions that you have. Let me make sure there's no one in the waiting room. Okay, they're coming in. All right, so this is going to be a study abroad 101 presentation. So kind of by the title, you can tell this is a general overview of studying abroad. And there's a lot of good information in this. Again, if you have questions as we're going along, feel free to ask them. That's why I'm here, and Lindsay, she's in the chat. That's why we're here, to answer your questions and kind of orient you in a direction where we can guide you towards studying abroad, which is something that we're really excited about doing for y'all. We want you to study abroad. It's an amazing experience. But let's get started. Oh, okay. Before we start, if you all wouldn't mind, let me put this in the chat. Now we're at some point, if you wouldn't mind going to this Google form, it's just an attendance form for us, and you can fill out some information about you. And if you have any specific questions or need guidance with anything, you can put that in that form and we will get back to you on that. But this just helps us gauge kind of who's here, stuff like that. So that chat will stay, or that link will stay in the chat. But let's keep chugging. So let's just do it. So I am Rachel Kennedy. I am a student recruiter at the Study Abroad office. So I am a student at ASU. I'm majoring in film. I'm a senior. This is my last semester at ASU. I have actually done 2 study abroads through ASU, which I always forget. I need to add that second one. But these are some pictures from my time in Paris. I did a semester in Paris through the ISA Business and Language Program. And so I was there for 5 months. Okay. And these are some pictures from that. So you can see the top left one over here, I'm with my best friend. We traveled around France after my semester. The picture on the top is me with my host family. I decided to stay with the host family while I was there, and there were 3 other American girls staying there. And then there's a picture of me on my birthday in Paris, which was exciting. I turned 21 while I was in Paris. And then on the right, there's a picture of me doing kind of an installation art piece in this house near Paris that was going to be demolished. While I was abroad, I did a work away. I did work exchanges on a couple farms in Paris. Like I said, I painted this installation piece, and I actually volunteered as a video editor for a French non-governmental organization, which I sought out on my own while I was there. That was pretty cool. Oh, and then the other study abroad that I did was actually a domestic one. I went to LA with some other film majors, and we got some kind of insight on the industry in Hollywood. That's pretty cool. And that's another cool thing about our study abroad programs is some of them are domestic, which means that they're in the United States. Okay, so since there's a lot of people in here, if you want to in the chat right now, say kind of some of your majors, go ahead and type those. If you want to say if you've been abroad before, where you've been, or maybe if someone is really passionate about what they want to study or where they want to study, go ahead and put that in the chat, and then I can, maybe after, if we have some time, we can go on the Study Abroad website and I can show you how to take those preferences and search for a program that will work for you. So we've got someone in photography, sustainability, computer science, engineering, global health, Japanese, aerospace engineering, some science-based stuff, film and media studies. Someone went to London already. Cool. Thank you for being so active in the chat. Medical studies, journalism, super cool. So I will show you after this presentation how you can go on our website and find programs that are related to your major if that's what you're interested in, and stuff like that. Okay, sorry, I'm getting a little distracted. Anthropology, film and media, someone, okay. Great. Well, let's keep going. So study abroad and COVID, this is a hot topic. You know, we can't travel everywhere right now. Our kind of stance of the study abroad office is that we're optimistically cautious. Okay, so we have a health and safety team which is constantly evaluating the situation in every country where we offer programs to ensure we're making responsible decisions about which programs run and will be canceled. But we are preparing for programs to run in the spring, next summer, and then next fall. One new thing with applying for a program is there's now an acknowledgement of COVID-19 health, safety, and security risks before you commit to applying for a program. So you'll want to read through that before you actually apply. And there's a lot of good information on our website right now about COVID, and we're constantly updating that as we get new information. But there's some answers to your questions you might have about what happens if a program gets canceled, refunds and how that works and stuff like that. So we're trying to be as transparent as possible and give you all the information that we have. But again, we're optimistic. We think that a lot of these programs will be able to run, but we're taking it in stride, of course, as with everyone and everything right now. So am I eligible to study abroad? Most likely, yes. These are the basic requirements, okay? You have to have a GPA of 2.0 or higher in general and be a degree-seeking student and be in good standing with the ASU Code of Conduct, which I hope all three of those, all of you meet already. For certain programs, there will be other prerequisites or required eligibility. For example, prerequisite courses, okay? And foreign language proficiency. And you might need to be a specific major or a specific year at ASU. Each program on the brochure page on our website will tell you exactly what you need in order to qualify for a program. And a lot of them are pretty open, okay? And a lot of them, if you're worried because you don't have any foreign language experience, a lot of programs, they don't require any, even if they are in a non-English speaking country. So just keep that in mind. The eligibility, you know, is pretty low for most of them. Don't be discouraged by that. Diversity and study abroad. So we want all students to find a program that works for them and works there for their specific situations, okay? And we have all of these pages on our website for specific types of students and identifying students. For example, LGBTQ+, veterans, athletes even, Obama scholars, Starbucks scholar, what is that, SCAPS, Starbucks, something achievement program students. But if you don't fall into any of these categories and you still have a specific situation that makes it harder for you to find a program, reach out to us. Seriously, we're here to help you at any step of the way. But yeah, check out, if you happen to fall under one of these categories, check out what we've written on our website about you. Earning credit. So all credit that you earn abroad will come back to ASU as ASU credit, and it will go towards your GPA, which is good. This is all good news. When you're abroad for a semester or a year, you will remain a full-time student and you will maintain your honor status if you're a Barrett student. And one important thing on this slide that I want to point out is that you don't have to go on a study abroad program that directly relates to your major. You can go study abroad and get elective credits. You could get credits for your minor, certificate, general education, or literally anything. If you're an engineering student and you just want to go on a week-long program, 2-week-long program that studies art, that's possible. You really don't have to limit yourself. Of course, if you want to study for your major and for your degree progress, that's also an option, obviously. But I guess that's all I have to say about that. I mean, when I went to Paris, I took like 2 French classes, and I am not a French minor or major, you know? So, oh my gosh, hold on. So this is a little daunting, but we have 300 plus programs in over 65 countries. These programs range from a week to a year. So we have so many programs. And while that's daunting, it's also exciting because that means there's really a program out there for you, and it's just a matter of finding it. Okay, so some application deadlines you're going to want to keep in mind if you're wanting to go for pre-spring or spring. September 25th, that deadline is coming up. So especially if you're wanting to study soon, try to find a program and start applying relatively soon. We still have a few weeks out. But then if you're wanting, these are the other application deadlines, but you can also find these on our website. Just keep them in mind, okay? Not fun to miss those. So now we're going to talk about some of the types of programs that we offer, because there are different types, okay? So faculty-directed summer programs, these can be anywhere from 2 to 8 weeks long. And so these are a bit shorter if you're not wanting to go for a semester or a year. These are really great for just a few weeks in the summer, you know, not during a regular semester. And these are going to be led by ASU faculty, and you're going to be with ASU students, okay? And it will be an ASU course or courses tied to this program that you will obviously receive credit for through ASU. And sometimes these will have an internship or a research opportunity tied to them. And again, this is all information that will be on each unique brochure page for a program, and you can read all about what the program will entail. The program fee will have tuition, housing, and other program costs tied into it. So typically with these programs, you're going to be staying in like hostels or hotels, kind of those more shorter term housing, but it will vary from program to program. This is something you're going to hear me say a lot. It's going to vary. There's no way to blanket, to have blanket statements about all these programs because they're each very unique in their own ways. But yeah, shorter term, faculty led from ASU with ASU students. Those are the distinct qualities of faculty directed summer programs. Then we have global intensive experiences. These are also shorter term, much shorter term, 7 to 12 days, okay? And these are over session breaks like spring break or winter break. And sometimes these can be tied to the beginning or end of semesters. These are also led by ASU faculty, and you will be with ASU students. And these, yeah, like I said, may be connected to an ASU semester course. So that would mean you take the class at ASU in Arizona, or you know, maybe online, and then you will go and supplement that learning with a trip to whatever is related to what you're studying. So this is a really good way to have that class learning and then directly related to a real world experience. And then the program fee for this, very similar. It'll cover housing and other program costs and not tuition, because this will be tied into your tuition cost with this semester. Domestic global learning, these can be entire semester long. These can be summer or session breaks. So program basics, this is global engagement. It can take place without leaving the country. Oh, these are domestic. Okay, that clicked for me. This is what I was talking about, domestic programs. I did the one in LA. We have a few, I think there's one in Hawaii. There's a few domestic global learning programs. These take place in the United States. So if you're not wanting to go outside of the US, this may be a good option for you. And these sometimes also have internship credits tied to them. And again, inclusions vary by program. Check out the brochure page. So always, always, always read all the information on the brochure page for these programs. Partnership programs. I did a partnership program, okay? These can also be summer, but they're also frequently semester and year-long programs. And there are even partnership programs that offer A and B sessions, so you're gone for half a semester. These programs are through study abroad companies, okay? They're kind of like in the business of sending students abroad. They have an entire staff equipped to support the students. So they will organize excursions for you. When you're in country, they will help you with transportation and getting your phones set up. They're really there to help you through this process. So how this differentiates from like GIE or a faculty directed summer is that you may be taking classes with ASU students, but most likely it'll be local students from the city you're studying in international students, and other US students from other universities. So a little more diversity. And then sometimes foreign language proficiency will be required, but usually it's not, okay? Like usually your classes will be taught in English, but if you're looking for immersive language programs, there are also those out there that are partnership programs. Like I said, there wasn't a requirement for my program in France, but I did take French classes while I was there. And these programs can also offer internship and research experience, which is really cool. And then the program fee for this, it'll cover tuition, housing, health insurance, and some excursions. So those excursions are added to your total cost. Something about partnership programs is typically you'll have a choice between a homestay with a local family or an apartment or possibly some type of school or university housing. And that will also differentiate your cost depending on what you choose. Exchanges, very similar to partnerships in that they can go over the summer, semester, or year long. So this is another longer term option. This one is really good for more immersion than a partnership program. So you will be guided through this process and you will have like an on-site contact, but there will be a little less hand-holding, I guess. Not that that's a negative thing, but if you want to be more independent and take your classes totally with like local students, especially if you're wanting to immerse yourself in the language, this is a good option. So you will have to be more independent. You will arrange your own housing, get your own visa, plan your own excursions, things like that. So you'll have to figure out things a bit more on your own, but that can be a really great option. Like there's pros and cons to exchanges and pros and cons to partnerships. It's really about what you're looking for. I know for me, a partnership was a good option because I had never been out of the country. I really didn't think I could do things on my own. And so I appreciated the staff in my program that were able to help me along with like getting acclimated and being, getting around the city. But now that I've already been to Europe, I would love to do an exchange in the future. So it all depends on you. And you can always call us and set up an advising a peer advisor appointment. We can kind of talk you more through these differences and what might be best for you. But something about exchanges is you're going to pay your ASU tuition and fees as usual, and then kind of just pay for whatever happens in the country, finding your housing, doing your excursions, etc. Housing abroad, I've touched on this a little bit already. This is going to vary again by program to program, but you'll sometimes have the option of a homestay, which is what I did. So you'll be with a local family. They're going to be giving you, cooking local food for you. You'll have a room in their house or apartment or whatever. This is a great way to connect with the culture and be living with people who live and know the culture. But there's also usually an option for off-campus apartments, on-campus residence halls, and then usually for the shorter term programs, hotels and hostels. And each program brochure will tell you if there's already, and especially for the shorter term ones, if there's already like a predetermined hotel or hostel they'll be using, they'll tell you that. If it's a longer term program, they'll tell you what options there are, like homestay, apartment, residence halls. So cost, this is the big one, right? It is a big misconception that it is totally unaffordable to study abroad. That is a misconception. Last year alone, ASU students received over $1.4 million in scholarships, okay? So that's a lot of money. There are a lot of scholarships out there. And the earlier you apply for them, the better. On our website alone, we have a list of scholarships that we offer as an office. We have a handful of them through the study abroad office at ASU, but we also have a search engine for you to go in and search, close this, search for national scholarships, okay, like the Gilman, the Boren, the Killam. The Gilman specifically is a great one. It's for students who earn a Pell Grant. So if you earn a Pell Grant, I recommend looking into the Gilman Scholarship. There's also other national scholarships and even scholarships at ASU through specific colleges and departments. And we have a really great search on our website for you to search through and see which ones you qualify for. And then the aid that you get from ASU, whether that be scholarship or other financial aid, it might apply to a study abroad program. Okay, so I know when I did my partnership program, my scholarship through ASU helped pay for it, which was awesome. And of course, there are other ways you can budget and earn money for studying abroad, like community-based funding and crowdsourced funding. Okay, and this is stuff we go into more detail about on our Financing Your Study Abroad workshop, which is another online presentation kind of like this, where we talk more about the fees associated with studying abroad, and then how your scholarships might apply to them, and how you can find scholarships that work for you. So if you're discouraged by prices, definitely, try not to be there. There's ways that you can get that price down. And there are also several less expensive programs that we've actually outlined on our website that you can take a look at. Okay, chugging right along. We are on all of these social medias. My two favorites are the Instagram is really awesome, and our WordPress. We have a blog for returning students to write about their experiences, which is really a great resource for you. You could even go on there, and I know there were some people who were like in the medical field, you could go and do a keyword search for medical and see what ASU medical students thought of their time abroad. That's a really good resource for you. I even wrote a little blog post on there. You can go and find it. But yeah, we also have some other events coming up. We have this Study Abroad 101, this presentation. We have those frequently. So if for some reason you wanted to come again or tell a friend to come, we have those frequently. We have Financing Your Study Abroad workshops every other Thursday at 3 p.m. on Zoom. Okay, and if this time doesn't work out for you, you can always send us an email about your questions, or call us at the office, or set up a peer advising appointment. Another good thing you can do is when you find a program or a couple programs that you're interested in, is set up an appointment with an international coordinator and ask them your questions about the program you're interested in or the region you're interested in. We also have a workshop series that we're doing where we're going to focus on specific topics like choosing a program, etc. And then we have an expo coming up soon. So keep a lookout on our website for those things. And so what to do now? You guys are all super excited. You know more about studying abroad and you're like revving to go, okay? The next thing you can do if you still have a lot of questions is, like I've been saying, set up an appointment with your peer advisor, and we do those over Zoom. You can call the office, or there's a link on our website for setting up an appointment. Or if you're like, I got everything I need, I just want to find a program now, you can go to our website and start looking at programs, which I will go and do now, show you how to do that. You can meet with your academic advisor to say, hey, I want to study abroad. This is the program I'm interested in. Are these classes good? Or maybe they have a suggestion for what study abroad program you should do for your major. It's always a good idea to keep them in the loop on what you're doing in your degree. And then, like I mentioned before, going to a Financing Your Study Abroad workshop is a really good idea, and starting to apply for scholarships. So one cool thing about most of the scholarships is that you don't have to have been accepted to a program, but as long as you are going to apply or have started to apply for a program, you can apply for a lot of these scholarships. You can scan this QR code, and I believe it sends you to a form where you can ask questions, and we will always get back to you on those questions to the best of our ability. But there's so many resources that we have out there to help you guys. Do not be afraid of asking questions, calling us at the office. There's also a fun live chat feature on our website. During business hours, you can go on there and chat with an actual person at the office about your questions. But this is the end of the presentation, okay? I'm now going to go to our website. This is what I always do. I just do Study Abroad ASU. full screen this. Look, there it is, Study Abroad Office, Arizona State University. Let's click it. Let's see what happens. Let me open the chat. Can you all see this? There's like a green banner. It says ASU Study Abroad Office. Can someone put yes in the chat if it's showing up all right? Okay, thank you. Thank you. Okay, so this is the home, okay? Right away, this is the workshop series I was talking about. You can go and look at what we've got coming up for that. Study Abroad Week is coming up in October. That's cool. Questions about study abroad, you can click Contact Us. There's this cool link which says Explore Low-Cost Programs. You can go and look at that. Yeah, so some really important features that I'm going to show right off the bat. Study abroad by major. Let's look at that just for fun. I want y'all to keep in mind that we are working on adding more majors to this list, but this is in no way a exhaustive list of every major guide that we're planning to have here. So if you don't see your major on this list, do not worry, okay? So I know we had, let me open the chat back up. Chat. Let me go back to where everyone was saying what majors they were in. I think we had some people, okay, here, criminology. Okay, that was the first one I saw, so let's look at that. Criminology and criminal justice. You click on it, has a little blurb about why you should study abroad, how it will help your major, okay? A message from the School of Criminology and Criminal Justice about studying abroad, and then some stuff about planning your program. Advice on when to study abroad, which really, really varies per person. And there's no exact right time to study abroad. Don't worry about that. Some general advice, meet with your academic advisor, key questions to ask, funding options, meet with the study abroad office. And then a cool thing is some recommended programs. So we're looking at criminology right now. Looks like there's one in the United Kingdom about the US criminal justice system. There's one in Israel about counterterrorism in Israel, gender and criminal justice in cross-national context. That's in the United States. That's a domestic one. But let's just click one of these to see. This is a faculty-directed summer one. Let's click it. Okay, now when we say brochure, this is what we're talking about. This one is planning to go June 6th through the 27th, 2020. Oh, wait, let me think. Okay, so that one passed. This one is a past one. Let's look at a different one, just, you know. Let's try this Israel one. Okay, this one's 2021, summer 2021. So firstly, when you look at let me just check the questions here. The person asking about SCAP stuff, if you go up here, ASU students, who can study abroad, Starbucks College Achievement Plan partners. Click that, there's some good information for SCAP people. So we're looking at a brochure. This is what we mean when we say brochure. ASU, counterterrorism in Israel. Location, Jerusalem. Program terms, summer. Cost sheet, summer. You can click that and it'll give you your estimated costs. It'll show you the total billable amount that will be posted to your account, and then some estimated extra costs, okay? You can click view pre-approved courses, but I think that will be down there as well. This is faculty directed. There are no internships. This one's not Gilman eligible, interestingly enough. No language prerequisites. There are graduate courses available. GPA requirement 2.0, language of instruction, English, and this one requires you to be at least a sophomore. Now down here, you'll have the overview. Quick facts, when they're going, some stuff about the application requirements. There will be a tab about location. It'll tell you a little bit more about location, in this case, Israel. Academics. This program includes 6 credits of tuition. You will select from 2 of the courses below. That's pretty cool. And it looks like there's some undergraduate and graduate courses for this one, which is neat. It'll tell you who's leading this program. If it's a faculty-directed program, you'll have this. If it's a partnership or an exchange, there won't be a faculty-directed tied to it. Housing, this is a big one. This one, they are going to be staying at a hotel in Jerusalem, so they already know where they're going to be and some stuff about the hotel. Special considerations, cost, funding links. So let's look. Let's go back to the home. Okay, we're going back home. Another really important resource on our website, search and apply for a program. If you already know the name of the program, you can put a keyword in there. So you can narrow it down to city, region, country, term. In the chat, someone throw out a country that they're interested in. Actually, a region. So we've got Africa, Antarctica, Asia, Asia. So I saw Asia, so we're going to click Asia. Let's do, so you can narrow it down to program type if you want that, college sponsor. Some of these are really limiting, so at first I recommend keeping it kind of general. Let's pick an area of study. Let's do engineering, because I think I saw a few people who were interested in engineering. So we're doing Asia and engineering. Let's see what pops up. A handful, quite a few programs. Looks like we have Cambodia and Vietnam. So one cool thing is if it's a really long list, you can sort by city. You can sort by country. So we've got Cambodia, China, Hong Kong, Japan, Nepal, Singapore, South Korea, and Vietnam. Quite a few in Vietnam. Let's look at an exchange. No. Yeah, let's look at an ISA one. We're going to look at this business, social sciences, and liberal arts at Korea, South Korea. I wanted to show you a partnership one and how that would differ from a faculty-directed brochure. So again, this is a brochure page. It says the program name. For partnership programs, there's going to be this program website. Click to visit. If you click that, it'll go to ISA's website, and they'll have a whole other website about this program and some different information. This is a partnership. GPA requirement is a little higher than the last one we looked at, 2.5. This one is Gilman eligible. Okay, so always be looking at this information. This is what I was talking about international coordinator. For this program, it's Abby. This is her region. And then you can click here to schedule an appointment with her. If you're like, this is the program for me, but I really need to ask some questions, you can schedule an appointment with her. So this also has the quick facts, some stuff about the location, academics. This one. So this is a semester-long program. So there's going to be a lot more courses for you to pick from for partnerships, and that will be on the ISA website. Course list, click on academics, click here. And it'll show you, let's see, academics. Okay, and then it'll show you all the courses you can possibly take for that, which is quite a few. And then housing for this one, it says you can stay in a dormitory. So this one is going to be dormitories, or you can do your housing independently. So that is frequently an option for partnership programs. Down here, you will have some application deadlines. This one is open to apply for. So if you were ready to apply, you could click this apply now button. If you're looking at a program and it says that it's going to be running, but there's no apply now button, you can click this save button and you will be notified when applications open. So don't be daunted if it looks like it's not quite open yet, especially if it's one that's a little bit further in the future, okay? Now, are there any questions regarding this program search or finding a program at this point that I could answer real quick before I go on. Keep saying no programs were matched with the criteria, but I kept things on the vague side. Yeah, Lindsay's just saying it depends on the program. Oh, but this is about finding roommates. I'll let Lindsay answer your questions. She's good at that. So I'm now going to bring your attention to scholarships and funding. So we're going to go hover over ASU students, go over to explore funding. There's a tab about the financing your study abroad workshop, financial aid. We're going to click scholarships and grants. This is a handy sheet. For example, I had a New American University scholarship. I was looking at this and I was like, okay, that I can use that for an exchange, a GIE, or a partnership program. So I decided to do a partnership program for a semester, and my scholarship applied to that program. So if you have any of these things, take a look and see what it applies for. If you're an Obama scholar, if you happen to be in this presentation, you're an Obama scholarship, we have a page on our website regarding that. These are the scholarships we offer through the Study Abroad office. I really recommend going through these and seeing which ones you're eligible for. You are most likely eligible for a lot of these. Scholarship search. This is also a really important resource when you're applying for a study abroad program. It has some search criteria. Again, if you get too specific, some stuff with some stuff, not that many might pop up. But we were looking at a program in Asia, in South Korea, right? And it was a semester program, and it was a partnership. So let's see if we were applying for that program, what would pop up? Quite a few things. Wow, 4 pages of things. Okay, so there's a lot of scholarships out there that you could qualify for. Do not forget about that. This is a great resource. A lot of people want you to study abroad and want you to have those amazing experiences. I don't know if I skipped over the slide in the presentation or it didn't come up, but really studying abroad broadens your horizons in so many ways. You gain cultural sensitivity, you improve your communication skills, you learn how to think quick on your feet, you make friends in other countries, you get out of your comfort zone in a way that is just so impactful. If you're wondering if studying abroad is not going to be worth it, trust me, it's worth it in so many ways. And it's great for if you're looking to apply for graduate school or like medical school or looking for internships and even jobs. I've had job interviews where I mentioned that I studied abroad in France and I just talked to the person for 15 minutes about it and they're so interested and excited. Okay, so could you link this page? This page? Yes, I could. Explore funding, scholarships, and grants. There's the scholarships and grants page. Someone's asking if you can apply for more than one scholarship. Absolutely, you can apply for more than one scholarship. And even more than that, you can earn more than one scholarship for one study abroad program. You can stack scholarships, which is really cool. I cannot stress enough how great of a resource our website is and how much a lot of your questions can be answered there. For example, facts, FAQs, choosing a program, application process, finances and billing, academics, what kind of credit will I receive? Can I complete an internship? Yes. We have a thing about internships abroad. There's so many good pages on our website, but again, that being said, you can reach out to us with your questions. Let's go look at what am I looking for? Let's look at make an appointment. I had mentioned you can make a peer advising appointment, a virtual peer advising appointment. This is where you can do that. You can click schedule an appointment and make an appointment with us. Live chat is right here. So if you click that, you can enter your information and chat with someone at the office. Okay, let's get some questions. Is there anything anyone wants me to touch on more, or anything you want me to look at more in depth on the website? Go ahead and just put those questions and I can address them. So should I talk to my academic advisor or a study abroad advisor? Good question. You should talk to them about different things. For academic advisor, you may want to go to them and let them know that you're planning on studying abroad. And it depends on the order in which you want to go to each of them, because if you have a couple programs you're considering, then you can go to your academic advisor and tell them which ones you're considering and ask them what courses you can take in these programs will apply to your degree progress. They're a good resource for that. Don't be frustrated if they don't have a lot of information about studying abroad. That might not be kind of their top priority, depending on what your major is. I think talking to a study abroad advisor, they will answer a lot of your questions specifically about the program, about housing, even about classes that you can take while you're there, about what the country is like, about costs and payments and stuff like that. So each of your advisors are going to be different resources depending on what information you need. But I believe when you're applying for a program, you need to talk to both an international coordinator and your academic advisor. I know at the very least your academic advisor needs to sign off on some forms. So you will have to meet with them regardless. If I am earning a degree with Thunderbird through ASU, is there different requirements? I'm not sure about Thunderbird through ASU. If Lindsay has some information about that, she can type that to you in the chat. Yeah, absolutely. We are here to help. And where one of us doesn't know something, the other ones do. How many back-to-back exchanges could be done? So you can study abroad through our office at ASU as many times as you want to, as long as it makes sense for your degree and your finances and stuff. There's no limit. So the only thing is that you will have to really keep track of your applications, the application deadlines, and all of those dates, okay? So if you're doing a back-to-back exchange program, Morgan, could you actually clarify if you're talking about back-to-back exchanges in different countries or with the same program? While she's answering, Erica, about your experience, what did you wish you knew more about before you went on your first study abroad? Let me take a drink real quick. That's a good question. So what do I wish I knew more about? I think it may have been nice if I had researched more what I wanted to do by the time I got to Paris, okay? So when I got to Paris, it was all so new and crazy and my body was adjusting. It took me a while to kind of get acclimated and to find my bearings and to be like, okay, I'm here. I want to do this and this and this. I feel like it would have been lucrative to have made a list before I went of things I wanted to get done. Museums I wanted to go to, cities I wanted to go to, just random things I wanted to do. I feel like planning those kinds of things in advance as a guide is helpful. Of course, anything can happen by the time you get to your study abroad program. Like, you don't want to super limit yourself and then stress yourself out about completing this crazy bucket list. But I feel like having some sort of structured plan about what I wanted to accomplish while I was abroad, I think that would have been nice to do. As for what I wish I would have known, I don't even know. My attitude was very much, I'm going to go, I'm going to do it and see what happens. And, it went well for me. Let's see here. Can you spend a semester studying abroad and you realize you want to stay for another semester? Can you just reapply for the next semester if you meet the deadline requirements? Yeah, that is absolutely possible as long as you're meeting the requirements. most likely you will have to come back to the US anyways, depending on visa requirements, but you will probably have to come back, get your visa taken care of again, and then go back. How did you narrow down the programs you were considering for study abroad, like choosing which college you wanted to do a partnership or exchange with? So for me, I picked, at the time I was a business student, so I went into the search. I did search and apply for a program. I had no idea where I wanted to go. I think at one point I was like, let's just do Europe. I don't even know. And then I did business because I was like, I might as well get some credits here. Let's see what pops up. And I was like, oh, okay, there's a bunch of programs that do business. And I just looked constantly through all of them until I found like 3 or 4 that really piqued my interest. And then I was just like, I just got to pick one, you know, one way or another. It's going abroad, it's doing something new, it's getting out of my comfort zone, and it's earning credits. So in the end, I was just like, Paris seems cool. Let's go to Paris. Of course, I think I had also taken a French class at that point. I was like, I already speak a tiny bit of French. It makes sense for me to go to France. So I don't know if that helps too much with you. But again, if you do want to make a peer advising appointment, someone can like talk you through all the programs and kind of go along with you and help you decide a little bit. Okay, let's see. Is the money we are using to pay for the trip the same money we would be using if we stayed here at the dorms and things? Also, aside from just studying there, can you go and sightsee as well? So your first question. So this is a little bit of a tricky question. So your tuition that you would be paying at ASU if you're doing a semester abroad, for example, your tuition goes towards that, okay, instead of if you had stayed at ASU. And then for dorm stuff, that's actually a good question about dorms, because I don't know if you're in a contract already for a dorm, how that would work out. Maybe Lindsay could answer that a little bit more.
Yeah, Rachel, let me jump in and answer this one. So it's going to depend on the program. So for our exchange programs, when you go abroad on an exchange program, you pay your ASU tuition for that semester instead of a program fee. So the exchange programs can be really affordable because you are just paying your ASU tuition for that semester. Now you do have to pay for housing separately. So on those exchange programs, that's where you arrange your own housing, and you do have to pay for that separately. Just like at ASU, you pay your tuition separately from, your apartment or for your dorm, or if you're renting a house, etc. For partnership programs, you just pay a program fee. So you don't pay ASU tuition that semester, you pay a program fee, and that is going to include your housing. And sometimes it's even going to include some of the excursions that you go on while you're abroad. If you're looking at more of a summer program or a global intensive experience, those are going to be separate from the ASU tuition that you pay because those are going, over a spring break or a summer break. And then those are going to include your housing, in-country transportation, and a lot of your meals, and then your excursions and things as well.
Great, yeah. And so what would happen if someone was for example, Vista, and they were a sophomore, and they were in Vista the first semester, and then they wanted to study abroad the second semester, but they were in a year-long contract at Vista?
Yeah, so that happens quite often. So that housing is not something that the study abroad office necessarily helps arrange, but what a lot of students do is they will try and sublease it. And there might even be options where the study abroad office can connect you with someone who, say, studied abroad in the fall and then needs housing for the spring. But that is something that is the student's responsibility to arrange and work with, Vista or your apartment complex or, wherever you're living to, either arrange just one semester worth of housing or try and find someone to sublease it.
Okay, that makes sense. Thank you, Lindsay. Someone's asking when you're searching for programs, how do you narrow it down to summer programs? I will show you. So we're going to go to search and apply for a program. We're going to go to term. You can see we have academic year, calendar year, fall semester, post spring. We're going to highlight that because post spring are those programs that are in the summer technically, but they are attached to a class or like attached to your spring load, I think is the best way I can explain that. And then we're also going to highlight summer. So we have summer and post spring highlighted. I believe that's correct. And search. So these are all the programs that run during the summer. Okay, there's quite a few, quite a lot of summer programs. It's a very popular time for people to study abroad. Yeah, good questions everywhere. I'm very excited that you guys are so curious. If you're abroad, can you also be taking online classes through ASU? Say one class at the foreign university and one online. Yes, this is a possibility. If you are, if you're doing a semester or a year long, you do need to be full-time, the equivalent of full-time in country at the university you're studying abroad at, and as long as you're full-time with them, then you can take online classes at ASU. Lindsay, do you have an answer to this question from Landon? That would be great. I'm not exactly sure how to answer that.
Yeah, so there is not a way to filter those out, unfortunately, but a lot of them are programs that are going to be going next year, and those dates just haven't been updated yet, and the applications haven't been updated yet. So there usually is a way where you can save the program. There's either a little save button. Rachel can point that out to you on the screen right there on the program. You can click that save button, or there's some updated program brochures where under the program description, there's a link where you can save it to your favorites. But yeah, so unfortunately, there's not a way to filter out those application dates, but I know that there's still quite a few in there that are showing 2020 dates. So just keep an eye out. I know our international coordinators are working really hard to get those 2021 dates updated.
Yeah, so this is what an updated brochure might look like. It might look a little bit different than some of the brochures we've seen so far that I've showed you. Let's see here. Apply now. Where's the save button on the updated ones, Lindsay?
I'm not seeing it on there. I think you can click the request info button though as well. I think, try that one.
And then it just sends an email about your question. When looking at the available study abroad programs, what does ISA mean? ISA is a partnership program. It stands for International Studies Abroad. So they're, just like Lindsay said, that's one of the programs that send students abroad for partnerships. So like my program was through ISA, but there's also CAPA and a lot of other types of partnership programs. But yeah. I'll show you how to get to our WordPress real quick. So this is all of our social medias. Click on the WordPress. This goes to the blogs I was mentioning, explore student stories. There's some categories here, but there's also a search. There's recent posts, and then there's a search down here. So since I saw some people were film majors, and I also happen to be a film major, let's search film and see what happens. There's my article. Someone wrote about pushing yourself out of your comfort zone. An introvert goes abroad. Next step, moving to Scotland. That's cool. a peek into art education in Finland. Okay, so there's some really good firsthand experience from returned students on here. So if you're like, I really want to go to Ireland, let's see what people have written about Ireland. There's a lot of little blogs here about that. So this is also a really critical resource for choosing a program that you might be interested in. But in general, we're here for you along your journey to help you study abroad. That's what we do, and we're really excited that you are even curious in studying abroad. I know that I really felt like I learned a lot during my program, and I came back a better person and a more confident person, and I wouldn't have traded that experience for the world. I'm really glad that I ended up picking Paris, but I think wherever I would have gone, it would have been life-changing in its own way. Do host families accommodate dietary restrictions? This is a good question. If you're doing a host family, most likely you're doing a partnership program, and this is something that you can tell them. They'll usually, at least for me in ISA, they asked if we had any dietary restrictions, and we could tell them, and that would be relayed to the host family. And that might also help determine which host family to pair you with. So I do not eat meat. So I put that on my like pre-departure information, and my host family just had to prepare things without meat for me, which they were really baffled about, but it was a fun conversation to have with them. When considering our classes for abroad, our major map is what we should be taking into consideration, correct? So yeah, if you're wanting to take courses abroad that are relating to your major, take a look at your major map and see, like if you're a business student, for example, go to the business programs, do the search we've been doing, see what classes they offer and see if those line up with your major map. There is also the possibility to like request for a class taken abroad to come back as a course equivalency for a similar class on your major map. But yeah, look at your major map to see if it matches up. We do have this feature, which doesn't always really work super great, but there's this search by ASU course feature. For example, I don't know, English. If you needed to take English 101 or 102 still, you could click that. There's also like, if you were searching for a general studies thing. Let's see here. English 221. Okay, so if you were to click that. Okay, so if that specific class was being offered in a program, it would have a list of, of the programs offering that class. So I mean, take that feature with a grain of salt. Sometimes it doesn't exactly work like planned. Okay, so this specific program offers that specific class. But okay, we're kind of getting towards the end here. Are there any last questions? Thank you all for even coming and listening to me ramble about something that I love and something that I'm excited about. I literally cannot express enough how excited I am for all of you and how much we are here for you to make this work out. What was that page to see past experiences? So you're on the Study Abroad website like we are here. I think you're talking about the blogs, so we're just going to scroll down. Click this W. It's a WordPress website. So just click that and it'll go to sundevilsabroad.wordpress.com. Of course. Yeah, thank you all, seriously. And call us at the office if you have a question. Use this live chat if you have a question. You can make an appointment. We are here for you and so excited. And I hope everyone's having a good semester. Studying abroad is a really good thing to look forward to. Let's see. Still 26 people in here. Let us know. Let me know if there's any questions. Oh, you guys are all so sweet. Thank you. I love talking. I love rambling. Much easier to do online too. And thank you, Lindsay, for answering all those questions. She was really great at getting those questions to you guys. She knows an infinite amount more than I do about all this, but I'm still learning. Yeah, thank you all. Thank you for coming. The website is a really, really good place for you all to start. Everyone who's still here and still listening. Study Abroad 101, this presentation is a good place to start. Our website is a really great place to start. The Study Abroad drawing in December. Lindsay, do you know about that?
Yep. So if you attended this event and filled out that form, and then you'll be entered into that drawing, and then we'll be notifying you in December or who wins.
That's cool. I didn't know about that, or maybe I did. Good luck, Anna. Can I be entered into the drawing? No, probably not.
All right, everyone. Well, I know there's still a few people on here, but we're going to go ahead and wrap it up. Feel free to reach out to us at any time with any questions, and we hope to see you planning your program soon.
Yeah, thanks for coming, guys. This was great. Good luck. I'm sure we'll come across you again.
Bye, everyone.